reason I'm so passionate about inspiring people to become their strongest self, and by way of physically becoming your strongest self, having strength of mind, is because everything the government does is there to psychologically manipulate you. It's meant to instill fear. Everything that happens in the media, the little droplets of information, it's all planned and strategic to put you in a state of fear. And the less resistance to stress you have, the easier it is you're susceptible to these tactics. Now, people are slowly starting to wake up, and obviously it's not just for and that's why the government don't inspire you to, like, if they wanted people to be their strongest selves, they would be paying people for free to give they'd be teaching people they'd be paying people to teach people for free how to become their strongest self, and they'd be inspiring a nation of strong individuals, and they simply don't want that, because a nation of strong individuals, they can't control a nation of strong individuals. So it's down to people like me to tell you what you need to do in order to become your strongest self, because I know I lost my strength before I'd even developed into a man, and it's all about just being conscious of what you eat and doing workouts as well. You want to be doing them, obviously you need recovery, but you want to make building muscle part of your routine and make it become second nature, and it will get to the point where it's just part of your life. And it's like having access to a free superpower when you properly look after yourself. Like, the benefits are second to none. And the human body, like, when you, like, after 35, your muscle starts to decrease, and when you don't have much resistance to stress, to stress, it just makes life harder. And we want to make life, and when life's easier and you're healthy and fit, when you do when you do enjoy yourself, it just makes it like, it's just even better. And everything that's going on now with people getting in their egos, we've got a lot of, I've mentioned on my Instagram, like, we've got a society full of unhealed adults that live in their ego, and they get trapped in this cycle. They don't ever do anything about it because they've got enough money to live a lifestyle, go out drinking and stuff, and they stay in the same trauma mindset. And the reason I can speak about this is because I've quite literally dealt with my shadow self, and I've come out the other side. And it's rare for someone of my age to do that, but I have. And my experiences all align with the writings of Carl Jung. And I believe it's my duty to inspire the world, or whoever wants to fucking listen to me talk about this stuff, to become their best self and face their demons. Because especially in the UK, we've got this tight upper lip sort of attitude, and we don't talk about, like, everyone's like, I've always just been pretty straight when it comes to how I feel and stuff, and people don't always like that. But I think it's I feel like it's better being that way, really, because if everyone knows what you're about, then you don't have to worry about anything. It's just like, yeah, this is who I am, deal with it. But I know, like, most people naturally are striving to be better, but I know how it truly feels to be in that rut, in the vicious cycle. And we naturally, as humans, we're taught to be social, and sometimes when you're social, you end up losing yourself trying to please the crowd, and that's not good. You can, like, I ended up slowly destroying myself trying to please other people who, quite frankly, in the end, turned out they couldn't give a fuck about me. So it's always best to focus on yourself. Like, if we, like, there's always going to be bad people in the world, but if we personally strive to be our best self, like, I personally believe the best thing humans can do is become the best version of themselves individually, and then that should have a knock-on effect. It's like how children learn. Children you shouldn't be like, do this, and like shout at them. Speak to them like a nice person. You, like, for example, a child will look at you doing exercise and they'll be like, oh, mummy and daddy, yeah, I should do that. And it's the same for adults. People learn by example. We've got a fucking culture in our society where it's like fear and control, and like the government are the ones who are inspiring this sort of mentality, and it's just not healthy. So we need to change that and just be more kind, and people learn better when, well, it's like, I personally, like, as a highly sensitive person, like, well, I can deal with my sensitivity these days because of all the work I've put in building up my physical strength, and by way of that, mental strength, and my general all-round sort of understanding of how my brain and stuff works and my genetic makeup. And that's why I'm really passionate about this, because when I didn't understand that, I was not looking after myself, and it's just sad because it feels like we've got the people who are in power, they're not healthy people, and we should have people in power that are trying to promote humans to be the best they can be. Just had